What's good, YouTube? I wanted to make this video in response to Tsmitty. He asked about online schooling versus on campus. I'm gonna give you my opinion on this. The the issue with traditional schooling is that, in terms of college universities, is that it's not designed for an adult, a working class adult. So if you work from 9 to 5, the only time you could really go to school is at night or on the weekend. And because a lot of traditional schools still function off of the random classes like 11 a.m. and 10 a.m. and 2 in the afternoon, it makes it that much more difficult for a working class adult to attend. So when you're dealing with traditional schools, they tend not to be flexible, and the lack of flexibility makes it um, uneasy for a working class person to attend. So what happens is more people are starting to attend the University of Phoenix and the Capella universities, the VRI and the ITTs and whatnot. And those schools tend to have more flexibility, but you tend to pay more. Um, their but their programs are more robust in comparison to traditional schools. Um, Harvard Harvard has a online program as well, but it costs more because you're paying for the brand name. And education in this country has become a business now. You know, they're willing to sell you a package at a price that you may not be too happy with, but you're paying for the convenience. So what's going on right now is you have the brick and mortar schools like University of Phoenix versus the your local state community college and private institutions like Penn State or something like that, Penn University. So at this point, you're going to pay more for an online school, but you're paying for the convenience of being able to schedule your classes whenever you want to. Now, my experience is that um, you can do the online schooling thing and still have time to do what you need to do in your regular schedule. One of the classes I'm taking right now, I can pause the class and come back later, if that makes any sense to you. It's kind because it's kind of like the lecture is in play, but I can pause that lecture and come back to it later on and then finish up what I need to do. Um, and although some classes tend to integrate more students, so something like project management would have you working with more students, and the other students need to be on the same wavelength as you. And most of the time they are, because they're paying for the class. They don't want to F it up. If you know what I'm saying, they don't want to waste their money and not get what they need out of it. Because you can't just like before, that people used to come to certain schools and be lackadaisy or whatever, and not really turn in any work. Well, with these schools nowadays, you can't do that anymore because they have to account for it when the auditors come through and they have to inspect. So at this point, online schooling is looking to be more robust than on campus of traditional schools. Like I said, your University of Phoenixes, they have. I think University of Phoenix probably has the most robust programs that you can get in terms of online classes. Most of them give you a laptop, give you a external hard drive. You can save your data, or thumb drive, whatever you want to call it. Um, the classes are always readily available. You can pick and choose how you want to do it. You can work at your own pace. With traditional schools, you're not going to get that. It's just, I think traditional schools are starting to fall to the waistline now, to the brick and mortar schools. Education to the brick and mortars is like Best Buy selling electronics now. I mean, there's a Best Buy in pretty much everybody's neighborhood, no matter where you go. If it's not a Best Buy, it's probably some kind of Fry's or whatever whatever is there, whatever's available, or like Target. So if you're gonna buy a TV, you'll probably just go to Best Buy. Well, if you're gonna get an education, you'll probably go to University of Phoenix or something like that. And as a working class adult, it works out that much better. And what's going on now is the younger kids, 18, 19, 20, are starting to attend the University of Phoenix as well because they're starting to work earlier than what they would have been when we were younger. When we was 18, 19, we wasn't working like that. So I think as the times change, the online classes in the the brick and mortar schools like University of Phoenix and Capella University are starting to show your traditional schools such as the Alabama State and your Georgetown universities. They're starting to show them more competition, as I should say. They're starting to raise the bar more, but you're paying more. I think Capella University is something like 475 a credit, 485 a credit, something like that. And it sounds like it's a lot, but in actuality, you need that convenience, you need that flexibility, so you're gonna have to pay for it. Um, and in my experience, it comes out to work out better because you're not gonna quit your job just to go back to school. That's just not gonna happen. And people who have done that have had a hard time getting back into work because they have to um, compete against younger demographics of kids or of people, and you don't want to risk that. So you want to try to fit your post secondary education into your lifestyle rather than fit your lifestyle into your post secondary education. If that makes any sense to you, you want to try to tie it in and make it as modular as possible. And I think that with online schooling, you get that flexibility. Like my classes right now, I can pick from 20 anywhere between 8 and 24 classes online. I can only take 3 classes at a time, but I can pick between 8 and 24, and I can do it as freely as I want to. Most classes are probably about anywhere between 6 and 8 weeks, and it is a lot of typing. It's a lot of writing involved because you're doing a lot of research. You're doing a lot of essays and things like that. But the lack of interaction is a trade off. The lack of interaction. You want to be able to talk to somebody face to face, a lot of FaceTime, and you're not going to get that with an online school. But with traditional schools, you'll get that, but you're not going to get that convenience of doing it when you need to. I mean when you want to. So I think that trade off is the only con to it when dealing with online schools. But now that the technology is starting to improve, people are start. I mean, at least we do. We use Skype, and Yahoo Messenger, and Google groups, Yahoo groups. It works out so much better that way than what it would have 10 years ago. At least with Skype, you can do the video conferencing and you can have that real time um, discussion. On a Sunday, you don't have to go all the way to a online campus. I mean, not an online campus, a physical campus and meet up with somebody at a library or something or a learning resource center. You don't have to do that anymore. Um, and I guess we as this generation, we're still working off the ideal that um, traditional traditional schools is the way to go. But times are changing. The younger generation is so used to using the technology that it doesn't bother them to do the video conferencing or the web conferencing and get their work done that way. It's not a big deal because they're so used to the Web 2.0 social media platforms such as Facebook and MySpace and all that. That they're so used to interacting that way that it's second nature to them. But to us as older, the older generation, it some people are very sketchy about doing it online rather than doing it FaceTime on in person. But you're gonna have that trade off anyways as the time evolves. As the technology evolves. Um, my advice is that check out the schools tuition plans. You have to look at that. That's a big factor. These some of these schools charge a lot. In Harvard, I believe they charge like 850 a credit. 850 a credit. Now, some of the other schools, I seen them as low as some of the your brick and mortar schools like the University of Phoenix and the ITTs and whatnot. They're about 400 to 475 a credit. And my thing is that you're not paying that much more than a traditional university at all. I believe Northeastern University, which is a traditional school, has I think the credits are about 525 or something like that, and something like Capella University is something like 595 for a credit. Capella University being the brick and mortar University of Phoenix type of school. It it seems like it's a lot more, but it's really not. At least you don't have to pay for your books. In my experience, you don't have to pay for your books. The books are given to you. Your calculator is given to you. Your laptop is given to you. External hard drives are given to you. Emails, whatever it takes to get the job done, they give it to you. No questions asked. Software, Microsoft Office, and all your student and academic software is available to you. Even some of the schools have iPad and iPhone applications that allow you to get your work done, your projects done. So that's a given too. That's a plus factor too. If you're gonna look into that. Also, look at the accreditation or the accreditation for a school. If you're gonna do the online thing, the reason being is that a lot of times a school may advertise a certain degree or whatever, and it's not transferable to another traditional school. So something like Boston University, and I'm just going to use this as an example. Boston University may not accept certain credits from University of Phoenix, even though University of Phoenix may be regionally accredited. They may not accept it. I know it sounds weird, but that's just the way how national accreditation and regional accreditation works. What may be accepted nationally is not accepted regionally to certain schools, and it makes it kind of difficult. So you kind of want to know whether or not people have been able to transfer their credits to a traditional school to get their master's or their PhD. And another word of advice is don't trust these schools that try to sell you the idea that you can get your PhD in 1 year time or anything like that. It's a joke. It's a fallacy. I don't know why people fall for it. I guess because they're desperate. And what happens is that PhD is not worth anything from that school, from that online school. Um, what else? You save money in gas. I guess now, with gas being $4 and $5 a gallon, at least $4 a gallon now, you don't have to drive to a traditional school and get to the campus or whatever. But online wise, yeah, you're definitely saving FaceTime or travel time in FaceTime. I would say that there's I think I posted it on my Black Male's Guide to College and Careers video. And there's some links in there. I think, yeah, I think there is. But there's a listing of schools that have 4 and 5 star accreditation reviews and whatnot. And I think University of Phoenix is probably like the top. I would be wary of these random universities that show up, the American Indian Institute. Stay away from those things. They're unbelievably just ripoffs. They're not selling you any. They're not giving you anything in terms of a credible academic experience. It's just not worth it. Stick with the the top brands, the top branded top tier schools like the University of Phoenixes and whatnot, and kind of talk to some other people as well who have done the traditional thing as working class people, because me personally, there's no way that you can juggle school and work with the fixed classes that traditional schools have. It's just not going to work. Some people have quit their jobs to go back to school and come back out and they can't find anything. Not to put them down or anything, but that the schools are looking at education as a business rather than um I guess like a an asset to you. As long as they can get your money, they really don't care. So do it to your best advantage. And hopefully you come out right. Because some of these schools, I mean, people end up with debts. That's another thing. That's why I bring up the cost of tuition. The amount of debt that people end up with is crazy. It's just crazy. If you can get your job to pay for it and it's a credible school, then do it. But don't just go to any random school. Like I said, these American Indian Institutes or whatever the hell their name is, and think that you're getting a good program. And you're not. I can almost guarantee you're not. They're crooks. Though they don't answer the phone when you have questions. It's just ridiculous. Um, that's all I have to say about that. If you have any more questions, man, just hit me up. I'm willing to answer it. All right, peace.